Okay, so
get it.
I know you got two.
You know, it's not a big
So let me say something. This brings up.
Cat. This brings up a question.
Okay. You want to? Yeah. Hey, you say your prayers. Bring your Bible to read. Bring your
No. In the
That's what that is.
Yeah. All right, we are.
I wasn't gonna say.
But we still have 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Bye, Dr. Garner. I see you on medicine gets better.
All right, ladies, it's some time.
We're going to warm hands or not?
Do you need a paper?
No, I'm on this. Hey, Brent,
Yeah.
I'm gonna break.
What we do with his shoulder?
Lord have mercy.
I think I need this one.
662. I'm prepared for the day. We will make sure it gets there. Thank you. Here. Thank you. Man, I wrote notes down so that I could do like my own little Bible study last night from the sermon yesterday.
And you do what with them?
Good sermon. Good Sunday school, whatever you want to call it. I mean, that's a highway road. You never see them.
I don't know what I'm doing. I was trying to aim it. I thought we had extra time. For what? For She's going to do my name? It's okay. I mean, you don't know. She probably will.
Who? Oh yeah, she's doing that because of her meds.
Who needs a sign sheet?
Absolutely not.
Thank you.
You will.
Already signed.
You said already.
Will you put A in it? Okay.
My heart feels like it's
Don't do that.
I drank too much coffee. I got espresso sometimes.
I know. Yesterday I was all jacked up on Mountain Dew. That stuff, man.
Yeah, you're such.
You got strong stuff.
Don't say it like that.
Why? Oh.
Good sugar.
Lasting.
How old is that?
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, if you do it, please block me out. Please. Huh? Please KO me.
What does that mean?
KO, okay?
Oh, KT. Oh, what?
KO.
Knockout. Oh.
KO me, please.
They're always doing this too.
Alright,
Wii
sports.
Mortal Kombat, they don't stand still.
Anybody want this?
What is it?
Oh.
Hey, Randy, that pin, whatever pin was, Amy's not.
I gotta get back in.
I'll put it back in. Sucker.
I always straight off.
No cross the top.
You
You can have a second
right?
Yeah, it's like jump.
They gave us a bunch of candy on the bus when we went to parenting yesterday. So a bunch of us grabbed a whole bunch of it so that we could share. You know? There was 100. Yeah, I know. I gotta fix it on my Bible. Which one you want? There's banana split.
Blue. You got the Florida.
Oh, it's like that. It seems as though the tables have moved a bit. I'm not certain if that's true, but it seems. We got about 30 seconds.
We can turn that off.
Then we're going to jump on it.
Okay.
So, good morning. How is everyone?
Tired, but good. Good.
Yeah, today is the 25th. It's a Monday. Please make sure we have our sign-in sheets going around and make sure your name is on it, both here and at South. Make sure that you get signed in. They're legible, right? We always talk about them being readable. If I can't look, if you're not sure, show your neighbor. If your neighbor can't read your name, then maybe you need to print it out beside your name or something of that nature. There was a lot of things that had been planned for today to get started, but things are a little bit different now. As everybody will notice, I'm still at North Point. I'm going to be here at North Point for the foreseeable future. Don't know how long this is going to last. It's temporary at best, but I'm over here for I don't know, maybe a week, maybe 17 years. I don't know. I don't know. That's out of my control at this point. So we still need to have our sign-in sheets, and I will be over there. The group today is going to shut down just a little early. We're having a leadership meeting at the main office, and I have to be over there. So maybe 10 minutes till we'll shut down. Give you a little bit of break so that you can maybe treat the cancer that the cigarettes are causing.
Thank you very much.
Yes, that's
I'm
helpful.
going on 2 weeks strong. No smoking.
Aren't you awesome? So we have a client here at North Point that has stopped smoking, has stopped sucking sulfur and 7,000 different carcinogens into her lungs, and today she is feeling much better, and I'm certain that in the very near future she's going to attempt to stay awake through the whole group. Today's the day she's going to give that a shot. All righty then. The other thing that we need to make certain is that we have brought our book to class. We always bring our book. Now, what's the big deal about bringing your book to class?
So you can learn something.
Yeah, it keeps your mind on it. And look, we're supposed to be working through it. Yes, ma'am? That's an extra book?
Well, it's an extra thing that they made for me, and I have to message it so you can.
Okay, now you got a more gooder one, so that's good. Yeah, we may need that. Thank you, ma'am. And it's one of the things, look, we do go over some of the book every time we come together. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the book every time we come together because you're supposed to begin in the beginning of the book and go through the book. And if you bring it to group with you every time you come to group, what does that do? It gets you used to having your book with you, right? So instead of, sitting around watching television and stuff, maybe we could read a little bit in the book. Maybe we could do a little bit of something in there. And I will tell you, this is not my Bible. My Bible is my Bible. But it is a good book. It is a good program. So take a look at that and see what you can glean from that. So today is the beginning. This week we're going to talk a little bit about family. We may veer from that at some point if it looks like we're getting bored or not coming up with some good material or stuff like that. We may veer from that, and Mr. Farmer has given me the ability to do that. So we may veer a little bit off, but we're going to stay stuck a little bit on our families and what's going on with families in recovery. So what's our goal as a group today?
To learn something.
To learn something? Okay, that's a good goal. To learn something about what? Families and how our addiction perhaps affects our families and how our recovery affects our families and how our families are part of our recovery. Now, we've already learned one thing this morning. What have we learned?
Cigarettes are very bad for you.
That what cigarettes are very bad for you. That we didn't learn that today. We've known that all along.
I didn't know there was 7,000.
Yeah, we're going to go over that when we get back to, I'm hoping you're still here, when we get back to our health thing, we're going to do smoking cessation. However, the one thing that I learned this morning is that one of the counselors here is deathly afraid of spiders.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She don't like. I saw that spider. It's one of those big old gray spiders. It's a house spider. It's not even poisonous. It won't bite. It doesn't. It comes around. It lifts its arm up and says, "Good morning to everybody." And it's really nice and good. So I'm sure that it has lost its life now because of inordinate, unreasonable fear. So, our goal is to learn a little bit something about families. I have talked to I don't know how many people down through the years I've been doing this a little bit. And one of the things that I've heard people say a lot of the time is, look, this is my life. You know, I'm not affecting anybody else. This is me. So if I want to use, you know, the deal is you are a full-grown person. If you want to use, then that's nothing that we can do about that. If you've just made up your mind that I'm going to do that. But we need to go into that with all the information at our disposal. We want to have our bag full of all of the information that we can get. One of the things that we need to realize, and we need to just get a hold of this morning, if not before this, you should already know it. You're not alone in this thing at all. We're not alone in our ability to get into recovery. We're going to need some help doing that, right? We need some help. We need somebody to come alongside of us and say, look, I did it this how. I don't know if that's how it's going to work for you, but I did it this way. Where are you going to find that?
AA, NA.
You can find it at AA, NA, all of those places. You can find it from your sponsor. A lot of times your sponsor is going to say, hey, look, this is what I did. You can find it from sober support people when they come alongside you and say, hey, look, you know, I quit drinking, I quit using, I quit shooting up like this right here. And maybe it may not work for whatever worked for me may not work for you at all, right? But it might. It could. And if we don't try it, what?
We don't know.
We don't know. So whatever it is, if that worked for you, look, you happen to be a human being, right? And look, this we have in common. I'm a human being as well. So it might work for you as well. Why do you think it is that we have, when you go get a sponsor, that sponsor has to be the same gender, has to be same sex, why do you think that is?
Because men and women like to do, men and women are separate and feelings can be involved or something, correct?
Yeah. Men and women, men and women are a little bit different. Okay, they're a little bit different. Here's the thing also. There is the sexual thing. If you are with a member of the opposite sex, there's going to be feelings and stuff like that happen. So that's one reason we want you to be with a same-sex sponsor. The other thing is that there are things about guys that girls may not know. And there's things about women that guys just don't know. So we need to be with someone who can understand what it's like to be who I am. Not only I'm an addict, I'm a guy addict. So I need to talk to another guy addict because what happened and what worked for the female may not get anywhere close to working for me. Right?
What if you like a transgender? What you gotta find a transgender sponsor?
No. The way that AA and NA says, don't have any statement against homosexuality. They don't have any, if you're gay, you're gay. That's fine. All of that kind of stuff. We're not trying to speak to that. What we're trying to speak to that is sobriety.
Yes.
Right, trying to get you sober. However, if you have a sponsor, they have to be of the assigned sex at birth.
Whatever.
Yeah. Just that means
whenever
if
you were born, that's kind of
Yeah.
But that's why you that's why you do your due diligence to find somebody you connect to.
Hey,
in
this
that
is
way.
true.
So-
She said you do your due diligence to find somebody that you connect to. Is that a really good thing?
Yes.
Is it? Okay. To a lot of people, I guess finding someone for your sponsor or something like that you really are connected with, that really, y'all have a lot in common and all of that kind of stuff works out for them pretty well. My sponsor and I are completely opposites. I don't like the person at all. It's not about that. I'm not trying to create a relationship with this old boy. I'm trying to get his input into my recovery.
So you still have
And I give input into people's recovery, which I wouldn't see socially. So it's about being a sponsor, not being a friend.
You can learn a lot from people that are different.
You can learn a lot from people. So, yes, ma'am, we had a question already up there. We're talking about, yes.
You still have a sponsor? Like, when do you not, like, you still have a sponsor? How old are you?
I don't know what you just said. What did you?
She
Like,
said
you still have a sponsor? How long?
You can have a sponsor. How long? How long do you need a sponsor in recovery?
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So, if you have a sponsor and you're in recovery, how long should you keep that sponsor? How long are you going to go to group?
Forever.
How long are you going to stay sober?
Forever.
We want to stay sober the rest of our lives. We want to go to group the rest of our lives. We want to see, that's a question that's the same type of question as how long do I have to stay sober before I can drink again? We can never drink again. We can never use again. It's just not for us. There are other things to fill our lives with other than drugs and alcohol. So use of drugs and alcohol is never going to be for it. And I personally, and I believe this is the same for all addicts, and of course there's always outliers, but I believe in my believer that I'm never going to get to the place where I don't need some support. Right? I need somebody I can call and say, hey, I feel a little weak today. Sometimes it gets easier. I can see it coming from a farther off. Used to it was right here before I knew what was happening, but now I can see it 3-4 weeks down the road. Oh my God! I need to go somewhere to do something. That's why we have these big AA conventions and all of that stuff. People have been sober for 100 years, but they're still doing all of those things. Right? So it's all about us getting into our recovery, staying in our recovery. And I have known people that had been sober for 30 years and relapsed. I knew a guy relapsed. He took all of his money out of his 401k, bought him a new pickup truck, bought him a new boat, left his wife. I mean, he just went completely, been sober for 30 years. So, there's never a time that I can lay down my guard and say, hey, I've got this thing. As a matter of fact, when I start getting comfortable and I start feeling like I'm really confident in my recovery and I feel like I got this thing whipped, that's when I go to group more often. I go to group a couple times a week. That week I'm going every day. I'm going to go down there and say, hey, somebody said the other day, when you start feeling good, it's time to looking for something. Because when I start feeling like I've got it, I'm fitting to get it. So I need to go somewhere. So we've got our book.
Yeah.
All of that. Just say, hey, bring your book to it. And when you get out of here, what are you going to do with your book?
Read it.
Read it. Okay. Study it. Take it home with you. Don't throw it away. Get you a little chain hanging around your neck. Your folks will say, what is that hanging around your neck? My recovery.
Yeah.
That's what that is. That's my recovery. Don't do that. But keep that book. and go through it. So we're looking at families. Today's Monday. We're going to just read the first thing on there. We have 5 days of it. It says, look, estranged. What does the word estranged mean?
Distant.
Distant? That's a really good way. Yeah, that's a good way to explain that. I am not very close to my family.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, I have a brother who lives in Mississippi. And he's a ranch hand. He's been a ranch hand most of his life over there in Mississippi. And yeah, there are farms and ranches in Mississippi. And he works on a farm over there. And I hadn't heard from the boy in probably 7 or 8 years. So what would that make him?
Estranged.
He's estranged. He's not. My brother not only is estranged, he's just plain strange. He's a strange guy. He was in his addiction for a long time. He got out of his addiction. We were at church yesterday. We're driving home from church, and I got a telephone call from Mississippi. And usually I don't answer those crazy phone calls because they come from I get calls from Mars. I don't know why people would think that you would answer the telephone when it says from the United States. Somebody over there said, is trying to get you to answer that phone. They think if it's from the United States, they'll answer. But every state in the Union has called. And all of them are really concerned about me. And I appreciate that. We're just worried about your Social Security. We want to make sure you got all the Social Security. If you'll give us your Social Security number, then we'll be able to check all that for you. So I'm really thankful that they're all concerned about me, but I tell them, okay, I'm going to have to handle that on my own. But since it was from Mississippi, I said, well, I'll answer it. And there's my brother, it says, hi, how y'all doing? They talk funny in Mississippi. I don't talk like in Mississippi folk no more because I've been over here in Texas and I've learned some Texanese. So,
Texanese.
Yeah, if you guys go somewhere else and you begin to speak, I can tell immediately somebody's from Texas. Every Texan I've ever met uses double negatives all the time. I ain't got none. 2 negative, I ain't got none. Yeah. What? And
because up north they don't say y'all, they say you all.
Yeah, and most Texans I know, they put R's in their words where they don't need them.
In Colorado, they say "use guys."
You guys.
My mom still says yins. We're from up north.
Oh yeah.
Use guys.
But I come down here and people say, "Well, look, I ain't got no clean clothes. I ain't got no double negative. So I'm gonna have to go wash some." There's no R's in wash. Anyway, he was strange. But that was because he's been off somewhere. We've been apart for all of these years. But then he just out of the blue called me. And we spoke on the phone for probably 10 minutes going down the highway. And finally he said, hey, isn't it kind of illegal for you to be talking on your phone while you're right? I said, yes, it is. He said, well, call me back. I said, okay, so he's gone. So he was estranged. You have multiple family estrangements and broken relationships that may be in various stages of turmoil. That's a bad place to be. You're actively avoiding some of your family members or in direct conflict with more than one family member, trusted friends, or partner. When I decided I needed to get into recovery, I was living in Mississippi, and I left Mississippi and I came to Texas. What's that called?
Relocating?
What's it called?
Relocating?
It is called relocating. But in our cases, it's called a geographical escape. It means I'm going from one place to the other place to try to get a new start. Does that work?
No.
Sometimes, a lot of times, what the problem is when I make a geographical escape, what happens?
The problem follows.
Yeah, actually the problem's right there. Because wherever I am,
The problem's
there I am. Yeah, because I'm the problem. It's not all those other people over there. Because when I got to Texas, the same stuff was in Texas that was in Mississippi. Yeah. So I tried to leave the problem over there, but I didn't. But I did estrange myself from a whole lot of family members that were using, and a whole lot of friends that were using. So when I came to Texas, what did I do?
Start over.
Got new
I tried
friends?
to start over. Yeah, I did start over a little bit, but I've got from Texas. I went to the military. I did a whole bunch of stuff. Started to college in the military, and then came back out and continued college. All of that kind of crazy mess. But I was still using. So I met some new friends over here in Texas, and guess what Texans do?
They use too.
Texans use drugs and alcohol more often than they breathe.
Yeah.
They'll stop using just momentarily and long enough, take a breath, and then they'll start back. So we do all of those things. So at some point, we have estranged ourselves from a lot of family. And look, friends and family and all of that stuff are part of all that. Now, who all of these people? I know, and I apologize to the folks over at. I tried to draw it a little bit harder so you could see it, but this is a family member. This is our family roles. Now, in addiction, we have specific family roles that grow up around what? These roles grow up around our addiction. And so when we're saying, well, this is my life and ain't nobody else, this is not true because all of these people are out there. Now, see, we look at these family roles, but there are other roles other than that. Because we've got this old boy right here. And who is he?
Us? Daddy?
No.
Oh.
This is my boss. Is he part of my family?
No.
Not really. He's not part of my blood family, but look, he is affected by my use, right? We came to group the other day, and you guys had gone over to the other place over there, and y'all been eating fried fish and doing karaoke and whatever y'all did over there. And you were all still, when you got in the group that day, y'all were tired, worn out. So you were not, look, y'all do about, I guess we get 55% of participation in the, that day we got like 4%. Because everybody, think about if they'd been serving booze over there.
Everybody up.
Yeah, everybody be on. No, probably nobody that showed up because so if you have a job and if you're going to work and you're trying to when you go show up that morning when you got a hangover, are you going to be 100%?
No.
No, usually when we go to work, we're not 100% anyway. Even at our best time when we make it to the job, we're what? Statistics show we're about 78%. So we're getting about 22% of whatever we do for free. But where did that other 22% go? Going to the bathroom, going and getting a cup of coffee, just taking a little bit of break. Is that a bad thing? No, your employer wants you to take a break because you do better work and all of that kind of stuff. But sometimes people go to the bathroom 94 times a day, even in group. We'll have groups started. We've been in group for 5 minutes, and somebody say, "Can I go?" Well, certainly. You're 35 years old. I can't expect you to spend 2 hours in here, or not that 1 hour in here without going to the bathroom. You've been in here a whole 5 minutes, so I'm certain you need to potty. At the 5 whole minutes in group, yeah, sure. But if you come in when you got a hangover or something like that, then you're not going to give. If you're only giving 78% now, so if I got a hangover, give what?
10.
10, 15, 20%, something like that. I used to work at night at a facility, and they had trucks that we had parked out back, and I'd go to work at night, and I had booze sitting around where I was working, and I'd start off with a little bit of, just going to drink a little, maybe a beer to help me work, help me get my stuff. And then once I drank that beer, I would remember where I hid the vodka. And once I got to the vodka, before it was over, I'd be out in the back sleeping in the truck. So what do you think? Did my boss get what he was paying me for that day?
No.
No. And I went look, I'm a good guy. I went and told my supervisor, man, all of that stuff you gave me, all of that, you told me to go do all of this stuff. Then I won't tell you, boss, I didn't get any of it done. I got drunk instead and slept in the truck. What do you think he told me? What time is it?
I'm sorry.
Both of
No,
y'all.
I thought somebody walked past.
Ah. So, what do you think he told me?
You're fired.
No.
Do better.
No. He said, that's all right. That's okay, don't worry about it. Because he was an alcoholic as well.
You got lucky.
You know, so he understood that. So what was he doing? He was enabling me. So when I looked at that, I said, that old boy is enabling me. So I changed all my behavior and I quit drinking at night. Is that true?
No.
Of course not. I said, my boss man's going to enable me.
And it's gonna be all right.
Yeah, I'm going to let me get some
got more.
Yeah. So I kept on doing that. And then they did the worst thing that they possibly could have done to me.
Drug test.
No, they didn't drug test me, but they put me back on days.
Oh.
I had to go work in the daylight, so that was a horrible thing. But we do that, and there's other people out there, bosses, friends, family members that are way out there. Some other people that you know out there. All of your friends and family have to deal with you because you have this issue. So, who are our family members that have to deal with us? What's this guy right here?
The dad?
The what? The dad?
Yes, sir. Maybe.
Okay, this is the guy that's doing all the drinking. This is the addict. This is the alcoholic. See right there, he's in the midst of his addiction. He's having fun, right? He's excited about that. So, but what does that make him? In our family roles, what does that make him?
The problem child.
The what? The problem child?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No, he is actually the victim. Why is he the victim? He's the one that's causing all the crap. Why do we consider him the victim?
Because he's acting out.
Because he's what?
He got the disease.
That's exactly right. He's the one with the disease. This person in the addiction, in the center, this is he's the one with addiction. He's the sinner. And though the key to alcohol and drug addiction recovery, not necessarily the most important in family recovery, the world in his imagination and him and his family right now evolves around him. Well, when he comes home, what's everybody doing? We're wondering how he's going to respond. When he comes home, we're wondering if we're going to get beat up. We're wondering if he's feeling good that day. We're wondering if he's spent all of the money for the household. We're wondering how the rest of the day is going to go because of what he has to do. So it says, look, causing the addict to become the center of everyone's attention. All the rest of the people in the family are trying to make sure that nobody notices what's going on in the family. It's a shame-based thing. We don't want everybody to know that Dad's an alcoholic. We don't want everybody to know Dad's a drunk. We don't want everybody to know that Mom can't take us to the school play because she's strung out. We don't want anybody to know that. We don't want people to come to the house and run into our parents when they're high or drunk, do we?
No.
What do you think about our children? They don't want somebody to come to our home if we're not there, right? I mean, spiritually and mentally, and we may be laying on the couch, and physically our body may be there, but we're not there, right? And so they don't want people to know that, right? You don't want your mom going to a PTA meeting with a little cocaine up her nose. You don't want that to happen, huh? Ain't no telling what. But will an addict do something like that?
Yes.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. I've had people come to church so high, so drunk, they couldn't even see. And they think it's a natural, normal thing for them to do. And are their children embarrassed?
Yes.
Of course they are. They're trying to dig a hole under the pew somewhere. So they're the center of attention. As the roles are defined, the others unconsciously. Now look, I know that some people do it consciously. Some people do it on purpose. Some people know exactly what they're doing. But for most of the time, most of the children in the family, they're not old enough, they're not mature enough to know what all of that stuff is. They're not at a place where they can understand what's going on with dad or understand what's going on with mom. Is it normal to go home and daddy is drunk on the back porch and has already thrown up on himself and all of that stuff, and then mama's in the kitchen and she's hiring a kite on cocaine? Is that normal?
No.
Yeah, it is.
But it is to them.
It is for a whole bunch of people. It's not the normalcy that we would like, right? It's not what we want to have in our life, right? But it is for a lot of people normal. That's what they expect. When they go home, they expect to find daddy drunk. That's why they don't bring anybody home over from school and some of their kids. They don't do any of that stuff, because they know dad's going to be drunk on the front porch. We don't want these people seeing dad in that kind of situation, right? And it's why we don't bring people home, because mom is going to have a little bit of cocaine up her nose, right? Why is cocaine good to shoot up your nose?
It's not.
It's not? Well,
It makes some people feel good.
Well, it makes people feel good, make them work, all of that stuff. But it also, that little cartilage, you have two little things. It eats that cartilage out up there between it. And it fixes your nose so that you can actually pick both sides of your nose with one finger, push it up this way and then push it out that way. Oh, goodness, that's terrible. Yeah, it's normal, natural stuff. It makes it easier to do. But, as being facetious, we don't want to use cocaine so that we can pick our nose better. But as the roles are defined, the others unconsciously take on the rest of the role to complete the balance after the problem has been introduced. Recovery, many times, these people, your recovery is going to be seen in how those people respond to it. Yes, ma'am.
Can you repeat that one time? They unconsciously take on.
They unconsciously. Here's the point. They unconsciously take on the roles that this person is supposed to be doing. Right? Dad's supposed to do what? As we understand, like she said, provide and protect. Now, sometimes Dad doesn't do all the providing and protecting. Mom does, okay? But in most, what we're looking for in a normal, natural, okay, this is how we're working together to keep the family together. So he's supposed to be providing and protecting. Okay? So in a place where he's not providing and protecting, somebody else takes up that role.
Correct.
Yeah. Somebody else in the family member takes up the role of being the disciplinarian. Somebody has to say, okay, you can't do that, Georgie. And if Dad's not going to do that, who's going to do that? Mom, yeah. Mom's going to have to step up and do the things that Dad won't do. Talked to a lady yesterday about some stuff, and that's one of the issues. Dad's okay. Dad's a wonderful person, but Dad just happens not to be working. So what is she doing?
She's overcompensating.
She is overcompensating because she got 3 jobs.
Oh.
And none of them pay her enough money.
Yeah.
They're looking at how, if all 3 jobs, if you put all of those salaries together, it's good enough. It's pretty fair little salary, but still not enough. And Dad's just not working. He's planning on getting a job, but not right now. And so he's doing other things with his time. What's he doing? Using. And so look, I remember back when I was in my addiction, when I was using, I wasn't eating, and I wasn't worried about the bills.
What could you possibly have been using?
What could I possibly have been? I was high on life, man.
No, seriously, you don't look as if you don't even.
Because he's been in recovery.
I don't look or act like I'm
I didn't know
an
you were in recovery also.
Look at that.
I never guessed that.
No, look, I'm an
I'm
an alcoholic, and I smoked enough marijuana to know that it's the worst drug out there. So I don't do that. I don't do that anymore. But no, I had a whole big problem with alcohol, and I used to keep a bottle of vodka under my seat, and then when I drank this bottle, I would make sure that the bottle under my seat had the thing broken on it, and then I'd go when that one got broken, I would go to get another, and I would get 2 or 3 of those a day, and I would go. My way of cutting it back was going from a pint to a half a pint. You get a pint, and I could drink half of the bottle in one sitting, just and it's gone. Nothing mixed with it. I started off with screwdriver, orange juice, and vodka, but then I got to a place where I didn't need the orange juice. Orange juice don't get you high. Orange juice ain't worth anything, so I just drank straight vodka. So yeah.
How long have you been in recovery?
I've been in recovery ever since I quit drinking.
Older than me now.
How old are
How many
you?
years?
How many
That's what
old?
I'm asking.
How old are you?
31.
You 31 years old?
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you
Man.
saying I look old or young?
Oh,
That's-
you did. I didn't think you had that many years behind.
So I was young. I'll take the compliment.
Take a break.
Yeah.
Taking a run.
Mr. Barton, may I go to the bathroom?
Yes, you've been in here 35 minutes. You can't possibly hold it another 25. No, you need to go on. You need to go to the bathroom.
Sir, you still didn't answer the
December the 13th, 1999, I stopped drinking.
99.
99.
Year she was
That's a
born.
long time ago. December the 13th, 1999.
What made you?
So how old are you?
Y'all figure that all out.
How old are you? Say 24, 25 years.
25.
So
So
25
you've been
years.
for 25 years and 4 months?
In 4 months, it'll be 26 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made you quit that day? What made you quit?
I had a car wreck, and at the end of that car wreck, I flipped my car 6 different times. 6 times. And really funny, it flipped 3 times, and it jumped up over a barbed wire fence and flipped 3 more times. The fence was still there. It was life flighted down to Galveston, and my leg was pulled out of its socket and was up behind my head. I broke a bunch of ribs. I knocked my teeth in the front.
So you had
all
to learn how
messed
to walk
up.
again.
And so it took months and months and months, and
Yeah.
tore my arm up, all kinds of good stuff. And while I'm in the hospital, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm waiting now for the law to come. They're going to come and they're going to put me in jail, and that's going to be bad because I don't like jail, never did.
I don't think any of us do.
No, not as much as some people do, I guess. And I knew that, look, I'm going to kill myself. If I don't kill myself in a car wreck, I'm going to kill myself in jail. So I went, and I've been in treatment back in the Army. They put me in treatment. That didn't work. None of that stuff worked. But at that point in time, I just made the decision. It's either the booze or the grave. So let's go do the other one. So.
Yeah, when my son told me how frightened he was as I was driving drunk, that made me really want to quit.
Oh yeah.
Tell me, Mama, I begged you not to put me in the car.
Yeah. Well, see, we have those little life events that help us do those things. Yeah. So this what makes this guy a victim, because as the lady who was back here a few moments ago said, he's a victim because he has a disease. That's what I meant. I didn't notice you had gotten back. Yeah. This is, this guy has a disease. So all of us in here would be classified as
The victims.
We're victim. Now let me tell you something. As a victim, what's that tell us?
He's suffering.
Say it again.
That the family suffers because of the.
There's a lot of suffering. What you
I
say?
was saying that our family suffers.
Our family is suffering from it. This is a disease. And here's one of the things that helped me a whole bunch, a lot, when I came to the realization that this is really a disease. Way back in the day, there was a fellow who figured out that this was a disease, and over the years they laughed at him and all of this kind of stuff. And we're going to look at that in our physical health thing at some point. But when I figured out it was a disease, the only other thing it could be is a lack of willpower, and that don't work, right? It's not a lack of willpower, or I'm morally corrupt, which I am, but it's not about my morality. So it comes down to the fact that this has to be a disease. If it's a disease, what does that tell me?
It's a secret that there's a cure for it.
There's no
That it
cure
can be
for this
treated.
disease,
You can treat it.
but you can treat it. You can whip it into remission, and you can keep it at bay for the rest of your life. It's just like AIDS. Used to be, if you got AIDS, if you got HIV, that was a death sentence, right?
Yes.
That's not true nowadays. You still don't want to get it. It's like any other STI. We don't want any of that mess. It ain't fun. But if you get it, it's not unnecessary. You're going to die, and that's the way that is now. Now you can live a full life. You can have children. You can have a good life and have that disease. But here's the deal. It is a treatable disease now. And that's just praise God stuff. But when I learned that this thing that I have, although even though it's destroying my life, I'm losing jobs, I'm doing all of this kind of stuff, I can't keep my bills paid, I can't eat right, I can't keep my health up, I can't do any of those things. It's still a disease. Now that I know that, I can begin to treat it. So what's the first thing that I did?
Acknowledged it.
Admit we were powerless.
Admit we were powerless. Acknowledged it. And went and found some help. Because I knew right now, hey, look, there's no way. I'd go get a bottle of wine, and I'd start with a bottle of wine, and I'd always, see, addiction is like that. I'd always say, I'm just going to have a shot of this bottle of wine. Just a shot. Just a shot. Now, back in those days, they didn't have all those little bottles. You had to buy the bottle of wine. And so I buy me a bottle of wine, and I'm just going to have a little shot. Okay? And so I'd have a little shot. By the time I get that bottle set back down, I was going to have another little shot.
Yeah.
All I'm having is another. And look, when you get that down into you get to the place where you start thinking about yourself, and you say, what? I've done real well. I deserve. I deserve another. I've only had 2 little shots. I deserve at least one more. By time, and when you see the bottom of that bottle, you see the bottom of the wine bottle, and then your disease is telling you, I think that vodka's on sale. You don't have a lot of.
So much.
You don't.
It's on sale.
Yeah, no, it's never on sale. But look, it could possibly be on sale. So I need to go down there because I don't have a lot of money, and so I need to do the things that are, that's intelligent, that's doing the right thing. Try to save some money. But so when it got there, it's not on sale. I get there, it's not on sale.
Oh, well.
But what you-
Oh,
wasting my money and my time getting there, I'm going to have to go ahead. I'm sorry. And so I'd go ahead and do that. And you know what? An addiction is an addiction is an addiction. I do the same thing with goodies today. I'll tell myself, look, I deserve one stinking cookie.
Didn't you eat like 3 packs though?
Yes. I went the other day and bought some of those things you make banana pudding out of.
Oh, the vanilla wafers?
Vanilla wafers. I'm just going to have 1 or 2. And so when I found the whole box is gone, on the way home, I ate the whole box.
Oh, shoot.
And then I have this thing on here that, and it's
Starts alerting you.
it's going boop, beep, beep, beep. I look at it and it's 300. At 300, it starts beeping. And so that whole box of cookies is gone, but that's the way addiction is.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Well, it is. It is the way the cookie crumbles. So we need to understand that as we are in our addiction, it's a really wonderful thing for us to know that this is a disease and it can be treated. It's the same thing with my addiction to goodies. You know, there are GAs out there. What's a GA?
Goodie addiction?
Goodie Anonymous. Yeah.
Oh,
Goodie
goodie
Anonymous.
addiction. Is there really?
Yeah. Yeah. We have one in our church. It's called the Southern Ladies.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is. They meet every Thursday, and it's the Southern Ladies, and they're called a motivational group, and they motivate each other to lose weight and not to eat the cookies. And, you know.
Does
So-
it work?
Well, it does for them, except that, you know, on Wednesday nights, we usually, you know, we meet and have Bible study and we'll have donuts and the lady that runs the Southern Ladies is there and she's always mad at us because they weigh in on Thursday morning.
Oh,
And
no.
we have, you know, cookies and donuts and stuff like that. So, who is this person right here? We want to talk about her a little bit.
The chunk.
She's
Which
what?
one? Which one are we talking about?
This lady here.
The counselor.
The counselor.
No. The
No,
main-
they ain't no counselor. This
Mother.
is his family. The mother, the mom,
The
and
matriarch.
usually it's the wife.
Wife.
And what's her role in this
To love and nurture.
dysfunctional
The
family?
enabler.
What is she?
Was that the enabler?
She's the one who sweeps everything under the rug, makes it look normal.
Is it the mascot?
Yeah, she's the enabler.
Enabler.
Yeah, she's the enabler. What does that
It
mean?
looks like Easter.
Easter.
It does look like Easter.
It's
Need you to fix that, sir. You know that messy handwriting is a sign of intelligence.
Well, I must be one smart feller then.
You do have the one who makes it look normal.
There you go.
Thank
There you go. There
Yeah,
you go.
she's the enabler. Now, what does that mean when we give you the title enabler?
Like you,
Makes it okay.
yeah.
You make it okay.
Make
You
it
in-
seem okay.
You might even help them do it.
Give
You
them
might
that
even
$10
use with
to
them
get
a
their
little
mind.
bit.
Yeah.
You enable them. You make it possible for them to do it. Right? So what does that mean? That means she calls the boss.
And
He
tells
said,
them
yeah.
you're sick.
Bubba can't come to work this morning because Bubba's sick somehow or another. Every Monday morning, he just don't feel good.
Every Monday
Well,
morning.
Every Monday morning, you know. So she also when he gets fired because he's worthless, no count, no good for nothing, piece of low life slime, then she gets a job. Instead of letting the bills go, she gets a job. And what that does is enable him to use her money to go do some other stuff. You know, so whatever goes on, she makes sure the kids are quiet when he gets home. She does all that kinds of stuff. She hides all the mess that he makes. She makes excuses for everything. Let's see what it says on in our paperwork about the enabler. Makes all the other roles in the family possible. She's allowing all the other roles to do the things. They try to keep everyone happy. She's trying to keep the family in balance, void of any issues. She don't want anybody knowing that there's a problem. They make excuses for all the behaviors and all of the actions, and they never mention addiction, recovery, or getting help. Why would you think that's true?
Because they're still trying to hide it.
They're still in denial.
Or not
They're in
accepting
denial.
it.
They're trying to hide it.
That there's a problem when they're hiding it.
They
denying
are
their
afraid to
problem.
lose you if they mention it.
That's a good point. They're afraid to lose that person. Because here's the deal. Being the enabler in the family is a source of power. Isn't it? It's a source of
They're
authority.
needed,
It's,
depended on.
it's a source of being dependent. These folks want to have this lady, wants to have this person codependent on
yeah.
her.
My mom is definitely my biggest enabler.
Yeah, and they'll do that. And see if they get recovery going on, and if they get you into a place of where you know you have a disease and you need some help in that, what happened?
They turn into your biggest supporter.
Yeah, suddenly they're going to be somebody that's going to be helping you to do what you need to do. Because here's the deal: if you get sober, they lose their power and they lose their authority. Have y'all ever seen the movie When a Man Loves a Woman?
Yeah.
That's a very old movie. You know, it used to be a very good tool years ago, but it's so old now that people haven't seen it anymore. But it had Meg Ryan in it and then this other fella. And she was a drunk. And he was her enabler. And he took care of her and he did everything for her. And then she ran off and left her kids, and one of the kids did something. She slapped snot out of him, and she was taking an Alka-Seltzer in a beer. Put the Alka-Seltzer in a beer because she was feeling bad. So that was gonna help. But then finally she got into some recovery. Yeah. She's going to AA and NA, and she's starting to get sober. And he's an airline pilot, and he's coming down the stairs, and he's got his suitcase. Mm-hmm. And she said, "Where are you going?" He said, "Well, you don't need me anymore." So what does that tell you about him?
He's a codependent.
He was codependent on her. He needed her to need him. And a lot of times that's what this person, the enabler, needs this person to need him or her. And if that person gets sober, gets well, gets into recovery, they don't need you anymore. Let me share something that's relational, related for you.
Relational
related, okay. Yeah,
I'm just for you. Sure where we're at.
It's related to your relationship. If you find somebody who really needs you, they really need you, run.
Yeah.
You don't need somebody in your life that's there because they need you. Yeah. You know, it's okay to fulfill some people's needs, some of their needs. You can't fulfill all their needs. I do a lot of couple counseling, and I've had a lot of, I can't live without him, or I can't live without her.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's too bad. You know, man, when that person figures out you can't live without them, okay. All right, now the poo-poo going to hit the oscillator because I can do anything I want to do now, because if I decide to leave, you're going to die.
Yeah.
You can't live without me. So if there's somebody that really needs you, you need to go and find somebody that's healthy. That make sense? Mm-hmm. I want to be healthy. I don't want to go into a relationship because I need that other person, and I don't want that other person coming into a relationship with me because they need me so badly they can't live without me. I want them to be healthy, stand-alone person if they have to be, and I'm a healthy stand-alone person, but together we're going to be a healthy stand-alone couple. Mm-hmm. Right? And not codependent. We're going to be dependent. I'm dependent on my wife for a lot of things. She's dependent on me for a lot of, but we're not codependent.
Right.
If I die before her, she's going to have, probably 17 different husky dogs off in the house before I'm in the grave good. So this one, the wife, and it's usually the wife. It's not always the wife, but it's usually the wife. A lot of the times the wife is the victim and the husband can be the enabler, or sometimes the children wind up being enablers. And while the children take on different roles while they're there, then they also can become enablers in their own right. Right? So, let me get my glasses so I can read this, and then we'll do that. She's the inthinker. Okay. So, who's the hero in the family?
Usually
that's another role in the family, is the family hero.
Your dad? No, it's usually
the dad's the victim.
Oh, yeah.
We already figured out that dad's the victim.
Either a sibling or a grandparent.
The kid. She's
talking about grandpa. She's talking about grandparents that ain't even up here.
Oh, I didn't know. Shit, he looked like a grandpa.
Look at this. Well, this is the hero down here. What do you see about this little person there?
He's talking about something.
No,
She's talking about something.
he's educated.
She's educated. This is a book that she has in her hand up here.
Yeah.
She's reading, so she's going to be the one that gets A's and B's in school. She's going to be the one who. She's an overachiever. She, and it doesn't have to be a she, it can be a he. They're usually the oldest child, you know, and they're kind of raising the rest of the children. You ever seen that type of situation?
Yes.
Where the daughter or the son, the oldest, is having to take care of all the rest of the kids. So they become the hero. They make sure all the kids get fed because mama drunk, daddy drunk, mama trying to take care of daddy. And so she's taking care of the rest of the kids. She's cooking, she's cleaning, she's making sure they get dressed and that they go to school. And they do all of that kind of stuff. So she becomes what we would look at that and say, man, I want a bunch of kids like that. That's some great kids, right?
Yeah.
But in a situation like that, where you have a dysfunctional family, then that's a sad place for her to have to be. Because why?
She don't get to be a kid herself.
She's not, because she's 12 years old. And she's the mom.
Yeah. And
You know, she's 12 years old. She's the one that's going to go in there and help mom get in bed. And she's the one that's going to be talking to mom and all of this kind of stuff and trying to help mother do what she needs to do. And so she can't be a kid. She has to be, like you said, mom herself. So the hero is the one who needs to make the family and role players look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she does. You know, when we look at that, we say how sad that is when we understand what's happening. But before we understand what's happening, we say, what a great kid. You know, what a good kid. Man, she's taking care of everybody. She's doing everything. She's cleaning the house. She's cooking. She's making sure everybody goes to school. She's washing the clothes. She's doing everything. Wouldn't you like to have 4 or 5 kids like that? But in a dysfunctional family, there's usually only the one.
Yeah.
And so she's doing exactly like all of the rest of them's doing, trying to get the focus off the fact that the parents are worthless.
Have you ever seen what's this show? The Gallagher's?
The Gallagher's,
Shameless.
the Shameleys. I never.
Shameless. It's like that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
sibling she is a hero. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it. I don't watch very much television at all or movies or stuff like that. I'm just way too busy. But they ignore the problem. This little hero here is ignoring the fact that there's a problem, and they present everything in their family in a positive manner, as if the roles within the family did not exist. Now, somebody called me this the other day. They're delusional, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're looking at their family, which is falling apart, and the dad's a drunk, the mom's a cocaine freak, and the family's just falling apart, and they're looking at everything as fantastic, and they're trying to present everything in the family as fantastic, even though we all know that's not true. Yeah. So the family hero is trying to make everybody look at that family and say, man, I wish my family was like that. Right?
Yes, sir.
So, but not like that. If they overcome this role, they can play an important part in the addiction recovery process. And here's the deal. They have underlying feelings. What do you think the feelings are that drive that family hero?
Resentment.
Resentment? I would think. Yeah, that's a good one. What else?
Anger.
They have a lot of fear.
No.
They have a lot of guilt. Why are they guilty?
Because they know they're being fake.
Yeah, it must be. Look, if things are not perfect in this family, it must be something that I've done. Must be, and they're trying their best and they're doing all sorts of, but it must be something that I've done. So they're guilty. Then they have a lot of shame. Why do they have shame?
Because sometimes they might not accomplish everything that they want.
Sometimes they may not get everything done just like they want to get it done. And also,
leaks out.
say it again.
The secret leaks.
No, the secret leaks out. It could, and that calls them shame. And she's ashamed of what dad is. She's ashamed of what mom is. She's ashamed of the family itself. So there's a whole lot of shame.
Shame to go sit in church and think they're talking about.
Yeah. So, you know, if you have a lot of guilt, shame, and remorse in your life, what happens?
Cookie crumbles.
Some of the time you can get to that place of addiction yourself. Because what did we say? Who are these people? This person is a victim, right? He's a victim. She's an enabler. But what else are these two people?
The problem.
They are a problem. Somebody else said something else. What else?
Husband and wife. Family.
They are family. But there are also the primary what?
Primary role model.
Provider.
Primary role model.
Oh. Well, look at you being smart, Jessica.
Well, I just listen in class.
Role models is with an E at the end.
Oh.
And
Isn't it?
he's repetitively said that.
I always do that.
There are.
So,
I'm gonna need your handwriting.
There you go.
That is not right.
No.
not right.
No, the role is like
L-S.
Yeah, role model is R-L-E.
Spelled it right.
No, you spelled role wrong.
You did.
This
Role
spell
has
Oh
an
my
E.
god.
Oh, wrong.
Y'all, you know
And you're a
I am.
doctor. No, what he meant.
Yes.
He was doing it.
My
He was making
doctorate,
sure we were paying attention.
my doctorate is not in spellology.
Right.
Tell us about the party.
So they are the primary. They're not only role models. Everybody around me when I'm 12 years old is a role model.
Yeah.
Everybody around me. But these guys are the primary role models. So what does that say?
Those are who you're gonna look up to. Those are
That's
people
all
you're
you got to look up.
And this young lady here, when she gets to probably 16 or something, there's a lot of stress in being the perfect kid. So she may be starting to use a little marijuana, maybe a little bit of alcohol, stuff like that. But before you know it, she's going to wind up like this.
Yeah.
So, and she's going to start dating guys who use heavily. Why is that young lady going to date guys who use heavily?
But that's what
she
it
used
is.
to. That's what she was around. That's what she used to.
That's what's normal.
Yeah.
That's it's normal for
To
her.
accept it.
So, yeah. So, all right, we're going to take our little break, and then we'll get back. We'll be back here about 16 minutes after. All right.
Oh, now you gotta come back in, Morgan. I see how it is.
I thought I already took a break. I was in my individual.
Well, you won't take him much longer.
I was just curious where you got it.
Yeah. Jamie bought us coffee yesterday with parenting.
Yeah.
Okay, like that.
Oh, where's the
Thank you.
thing?
Right
It's over here. You already signed in.
Do you want to use them out? I don't know what's in there.
This is my pen. What are you doing?
Is that my pen?
What are you doing?
Putting this thing on the check-in. As Shonda said, it has to have check-in on it.
Why does it say HH? That's a whole other sheet.
This is what we signed in on.
What is HH?
I don't know.
It did have that on there this morning.
This did.
No, it didn't. I know what I'm doing. I pulled out a
I
drawer.
got something wrong in my head.
I know.
I don't know.
My
I
son.
don't know who did it then.
And are they gonna let him go home? Is my sister gonna pick him up, let him rest? You know, like I do. Yeah.
Oh, that's a cheese.
They're extra cheesy. Yeah.
Oh, I eat one.
Is that the second or
I think
first?
this is my pen, but I don't know. Pretty sure it is.
I eat a lot one.
Yeah, me too.
I'm pretty sure it's my pen.
You got no more cigarettes?
Huh? You got my goddamn fingers.
Got more? Have some of this? Make sure I got that light.
I know what you're talking about, but I can. Oh, I can get that. I'm gonna get that.
What is it?
Any more snacks?
Huh?
Any more snacks?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I need Janae to move all her stuff out of my way. I'm just kidding, I love her.
Yeah, I only have like 2 sodas left.
Oh, I can't even.
Yeah.
I lost my keys. Oh, Lord.
Where's Amber at?
She went to the hospital. Wow.
Oh.
Oh, am I doing it right?
That's a squat. Yeah.
I know. I mean, like, are my legs where they're supposed to be? 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ow! Like that.
Yeah, I know, but listen, I can't do all that. No, I don't do it good enough. I'm supposed to have my backs. I don't know. I don't do it right. I'd rather do the, you know what I'm saying? Where I think it's right. I don't know.
Will you hold it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my feet are too far out though, because it's not burning, it's not working. Okay, I can't do it. Oh,
Yeah, I can't. I mean,
my knees are weak.
you get a trainer.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get a gym membership. And I just really want to tan, honestly. If I have tan fat, I'll be okay.
You know, my daughter wants to work out, but they won't let her because she's not like 13 or 14. She's
Are
only,
you serious?
she's gonna be 10.
Oh.
But she's, I don't know if you saw her or not, but she's kind of heavy. She's chubby.
I love chunky kids. Seriously,
Yeah.
like I get mad because my boys, like their daddies, like my 2 boys, their daddy's super skinny. So like they're skinny. I'm like, aren't you fat? My little girl, her little cheeks are like this big. I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
hope she doesn't have my weight problems. And her daddy's big. Dustin's big too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck. But I love her every day, and I love her fat, set face. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. See, I wasn't ready to stop having kids when I did, but
Did you get your tubes done?
I did because I had 5 pregnancies, 4 live births, and that was just too much. You know, I kept getting pregnant by the wrong dude. I was
It'd be like that.
fertile myrtle.
Hey, I want one more. One more.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have a baby after I'm 30, so I got like a few months.
Get it
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Get it done.
the time clock is ticking.
Yeah.
She's your worker.
Oh.
You okay right there? Oh.
Oh, well, we got about a minute.
You want me to go tell them group? Don't cry.
Yeah, about a minute. Yeah,
Sorry for interrupting your group. I'm really.
that's perfectly all right. You got to, you got to. How you doing?
Okay. I go see myself today.
Woo!
We're gonna start at 16 after a couple. Yeah. A little bit.
So you didn't have to go to the meeting?
No, he does after.
Oh. Oh, you're saying the second half. Oh my god, I feel like super fat today.
Yes, ma'am.
You got a story for me? About who?
Okay, who understands this?
What is it?
It's
I don't know what that is.
it's on the treatment. Treatment.
Oh. I don't know.
It's the universal treatment.
Oh, I don't think I had that one.
Universal treatment concert.
Hey, friend. What up? Not a whole lot, not much. Just getting ready for class. Yep.
My dad is not a soap.
I missed all the good stuff.
Ooh, good stuff.
All the good stuff, man. All the talking about the victim, which is us, right? We're the victim.
All right. We are back, and we're going to get this done. We may not finish everything today because I'm going to have to shut down just a little early. We're going to have another break at the end of this. And so, but we're going to take another look at some of these other folks. So, the hero is somebody we all agreed would be seemingly a good kid, but would have issues, right? So, who is this guy over here?
No, I was gonna say scapegoat.
No,
What's the next one?
Who is he?
Who is it?
yes.
He's very angry looking, huh?
Yeah.
So, what did that make him? And you had it.
Was it scapegoat?
Yeah, he's the scapegoat. So, what does the term scapegoat mean?
He gets the blame for everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he gets the blame for everything. And, you know, in a dysfunctional family, the scapegoat, is it correct for him to get the blame for everything?
No.
No one should get the blame for everything. But does he bring that upon himself?
Somewhat.
Somewhat, a whole lot of it, because he's the one. Remember, this young lady, what's she doing? She's trying to make the family perfect, trying to make that family look like there's no problems whatsoever in that family. What does that do?
Brings less attention.
That takes the focus off of these old boys. That takes the focus off of mom and dad, so nobody gets to see all of that, right? So the scapegoat is doing the same thing, but he's going about it in a different way, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be the one that goes to juvie. He's going to be the one that's in trouble in school. He's going to be the fighter. He's going to be one talking back to the teacher. He's going to be the one they're going to try to give a Ritalin to and Adderall to, so they can get him good and addicted, so we can get him off in him when he gets a little bit older.
Yeah.
You know. And they're going to try to do everything they can to this fellow calm him down, but he's not going to allow that to happen. Why? What's his mission in life?
To take the focus.
Take the focus off of mama and daddy. As a matter of fact, see, there's a lot of people in the family, there's a lot of people in society, the school. everybody else that's going to feel kind of sorry for mom and dad because they've got this monster kid, right? Y'all know a family like that? Everybody seems to be normal, but there's this one, right? And when you go to that house, who are you thinking about?
That badass.
That bad kid. I went to visit with a family one day, and they had this little guy in there, and he was just really, really nasty little fella. So they put him back in his bedroom, and my wife and I are sitting and trying to have a little meeting with this lady and her husband, and they had a bar that came into the kitchen and went down like that, and then went around the circle like that. Pretty nice bar, and all of a sudden, this little guy bursts through his door, jumps up on the counter, and comes traipsing down the counter, butt naked, and he's just having a ball, And he's about 4, and so okay. You think that might have taken the focus off of Mama and Daddy there for a minute? Yeah. So and so every time we went to that house, it was
What's really going on?
Yeah. We want to find out whether or not little Timmy is at the house or not. So he is taking all of the focus off of mom and dad, right? And even if he's not home, what do you think when you go and you sit down and you talk to a couple and they have a child like that? What do you think the topic of conversation might be?
I feel so sorry for you because
Yes.
you go through this.
Yeah. So how's little Timmy doing? Where's little Timmy now? Little Timmy in jail. Little Timmy needs to be in jail, Yeah, So the whole focus is going to be around that little fella. And he is the scapegoat. And he often acts out in front of other people. He's often going to be that kid that nobody else wants. Now, this one over here, we really, really, really like this child. This is the one we think we will take that child home. This child here, we don't want to know that he's still in existence, right? This one is the antithesis of this one. This one is the opposite of that one, right? And so most people would want that little girl and not that little boy, right?
Yeah.
We want to get him out of there. Does that mean mommy doesn't love him?
No.
We still love him and all of that kind of stuff, but we don't want him around us a whole lot. I have a grandson whom I love dearly, whom I would give my life for. I don't like him at all.
Yeah.
I don't like him. I love him. It's because his mommy had him when she was a little bit more mature, a little older.
Yeah. And so she lets him get away with a lot.
And he gets away with everything in the world.
Yeah.
And he is rotten to the core. If you took that little skunk and you cut him open, just come
be rotten.
right down in the middle. Wouldn't be nothing but rotten. He is rotten. I love him, but let me tell you something. He's rotten. Okay, he's nasty. He's rotten. And so they live, thank God, about 3.5 hours away from us. So my wife has decided that on the weekends we're going to go visit our kids. And, because we're getting older, we need to visit our kids. We have one set of kids that live 20 miles from us. We're going to go visit those kids.
More often.
Well, maybe not more often, but for a longer period of time. We can go down there and we stay 4 or 5 hours. They're all good, But when we go visit those kids where my grandson is,
Like an hour.
rotten.
Yeah.
Maybe an hour, maybe, hour and a half, long enough so that grandma can get enough of the grandson. And then we're going to say, it's a long ride back. We have got to go. That's a plan. It's a plan. But he's there. He often acts out in front of others. This guy is going to be the center of attention. And this little fella is the center of attention. His name is Garus.
What's his name?
Garus.
Kara?
Garus. It's an African name. And it means follower of God. He is. His mom's from Nigeria.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
so he's a something special.
He's a mess.
He really is. And you know, like I said, I love him and all of that kind of stuff. But you know, when you can love them and get enough of them pretty quickly, yeah. I'm gonna show you. That's got us. So he acts out in front of other people.
Oh yeah, he looks.
They're gonna rebel. They're gonna make noise. They're gonna divert the attention from the person who is addicted. You're not gonna see.
He looks like a menace.
You're not gonna see this little guy much. You're not gonna see these people because this guy is acting out.
He
So-
looks like a menace.
He is a hot mess, and so you know he gets when you go there and you see him, he is going to be the center of attention.
Oh yeah.
This is his sister. She's perfect.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
She is
So they fit.
marvelous.
They fit
She
perfectly.
She is fantastic.
He
She
said
is
she is
perfect.
perfect.
She is. She's the sweetest little thing.
Oh, is that the one whose
Um,
birthday you forgot?
Said yes, I did, and she didn't let me. She let me know about it. So they divert the attention from the one, and they also look. Here's what's problematic. They divert the attention. Now this one's diverting it. This one's diverting it. This one's diverting it. They're diverting attention from that person. But what else are they doing? They're diverting the attention
To themselves.
from their need for recovery.
Oh yeah.
See, if we don't get a good look at these people, we don't understand that these people, look, they have a need, they have a disease, but they're not going to get treated for that disease if we're looking at all of these other people and we're not focusing on those people who have the disease, right? So we know that we need to be focused on, right? We need to have something to work on our disease, right? We need to do something about this thing. But if everybody's looking at those people, they don't pay us any attention at all, and we get deeper and deeper and deeper into what's going on. So all of these people are taking them away from their need for recovery. The scapegoat covers or draws attention away from the real problem. What's the real problem?
We're an addict.
The victim?
This is the problem. Remember what we said? What's our problem?
The addict.
Addiction?
Yeah.
I'm my problem.
Yeah, me.
If I'm my problem, then what's the solution?
You.
I'm the solution. I've got the problem. I'm the one. I've got the solution. Now, that doesn't mean I don't need help from you. I need help from everybody I can get help from, but it's all in me.
Yeah.
She's eating donut stuff over there. See, that just ain't right. So what are the feelings that's underneath this guy right here?
Anger.
Anger? Yeah, there's some anger in there. But here's the big deal. There's shame and there's guilt. Shame and guilt.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Fear.
Who else had shame and guilt?
The
The
hero.
hero had shame and guilt.
No, all of us.
The enabler probably has some shame and guilt. Everybody in here. So the scapegoat has some shame and guilt and feels empty. Because he really, look, a lot of the time, these guys cannot receive what they need from other people in good, positive ways. Because what do we need? We need love and belonging. We need love and belonging. We need attention from other people.
Do you think that a dysfunctional family makes all of the different roles more likely to become addicts?
Yes. The question she had was, if you're in a dysfunctional family, does it make it more of a likelihood that they'll become an addict? So what's the answer to that?
Yeah.
Probably so, because remember, this is my primary role model.
Oh yeah.
And so when a young lady goes out to find somebody to be their feller, then they're going to be looking for the guy that drinks and smokes, and because that's what
They're
Daddy
gonna
did.
accept the guy.
That's
They're not
what-
gonna look for him, but they will accept the guy.
They'll accept that guy. They'll find a guy. They'll run into a guy that's just like, there's an old adage that says girls marry their dad. And that's true. That's true. Just to a large extent, because this guy's our role model. We're looking at that as normal. Everybody. No, everybody doesn't do it. Not, it's not true. Everybody doesn't do it. So he has that same shame, guilt, and he feels empty on the inside because, he's not getting that good, positive feedback that he needs to get. We all need love and belonging. We all need good, positive feedback. And look, he can't get good, positive feedback. He can't get love and belonging the way that he's supposed to be getting it. So what does he do?
He finds it in synthetic.
Yeah, he finds it in other ways. So I'm going to guarantee you, if you jump up in the middle of this group and you start screaming and yelling and throwing stuff, are you going to get some attention?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're going to get some attention, right? I mean, we're going to pay attention to you. And is that one of the reasons that people do act out in groups?
Yes.
Of course it is. Of course it is. We're in that situation where we don't feel like we're getting enough good, positive attention, but we need love and belonging. And so if nobody in the class, nobody in the group, nobody in our recovery program is going to give us good, positive feedback, we're going to get it however we can. And if being a butthead, and if being loud and crude and using profanity and trying to, put our cigarettes out on the table and roll them across the table and stuff like that when it's getting close to, doing those things like that, that's going to get us a little bit of attention, right? And so we need that. We need that. And so we're gonna be doing that. And that's where he is. He needs to have that type of attention. So who is this guy?
The class clown.
The class clown, the mascot, somebody said. And that's exactly what we call this guy.
The mascot.
Why do we call him a mascot?
Because mascots are out there all extra, dancing around.
He's mascotting for the family.
Yeah. What are they doing?
Drawing the attention.
Drawing attention. When there's something goofy going on the football field, there's something that is happening that's a little bit off or something, who do we see?
The mascot.
The football team's mascot. The other day I saw a thing on Facebook where two mascots one from each the team got in a fight on
Oh my God.
And what they're dressed like some kind of goofy something or other, and they're just trying to beat each other up. And look, I'm going to tell you, it didn't make any difference what's going on the field. They didn't care. They were watching the mascots fight. Okay, y'all quit playing. The mascots are fighting. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's why we call him a mascot, because he's pulling attention away from other people. He's pulling attention away from mom and dad. He's doing what he can do, and somebody called him a class clown.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the times that's where we see him, because he's doing something to get the attention away from who?
Mom and dad.
Mom and dad. We don't want to be. Nobody needs to be doing anything. And this guy's he's going nuts over here. Sister's out, she's ironing everybody's clothes right now while she's cooking and studying for the math test. And so I'm going to start some kind of comedy routine up here, because there are people who are getting tired of watching him. And there are people who may be getting tired. So let me start a comedy routine up here, and I'm doing the same thing as these other guys.
Yeah.
Right? So what's going on with the mascot underneath? The mascot's role is that of a jester. What's a jester?
The guy in the
Class clown.
Yeah.
Now, the guy that used to be the funny guy for the kings and stuff like that.
What gestures?
Say it again. The court jester, yeah. They're going to make inappropriate jokes. Why would they make inappropriate jokes?
That's funny.
Well, sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're just off color, and sometimes they're not funny. They're inappropriate,
Yeah.
and that's what inappropriate means. You shouldn't be saying that right now. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but sometimes I make inappropriate jokes. I had somebody in this group call me snide. She said, "You snide. You just snide. Anything you say is snide. You can't hide. You snide, Clyde." You know, she said it just like that. So, but sometimes, but that's because I was two of these things. You can be more than one.
I would say
I
I'm all
was,
of
ma'am.
I feel like I'm all of
You're all of them. We always thought you're a little bit probably. Yeah. I was the mascot and a little bit of the hero. So the lost, well, no, we're not there yet. The mascot is the jester. They're often going to make inappropriate jokes about those involved. We're going to be making jokes about people. And here's the deal. I'm sometimes picking on people, and I do that. And y'all notice that sometimes I'm going to pick on people a little bit because if I pick on you and I eat you just a little bit, you're not going to be paying any attention to mom and daddy. You're mad at me.
Uh-huh.
Now, he shouldn't have said. He shouldn't have done. He should. All of that stuff. So it says, look, though they do bring humor to the family roles, lots of times it's harmful humor. And sometimes it can hinder addiction recovery. Now remember, these guys, none of these guys are working toward these people's recovery, are they? No. They're working to hide it.
Mm-hmm.
What did it say in AA? You're only as sick as your secrets. That's why I don't have any secrets. You're only as sick as your secrets. And so these guys are keeping the family sick by keeping secrets, by making the fact that daddy's got all these problems and all of that kind of stuff a secret. We don't want anybody to know that. So what do? If you're one of these family members? Hold on, we're not ready yet. So his underlying feelings are embarrassment. He's embarrassed because of what mom and dad have become. He's a little bit angry and shame.
Yeah.
And everybody here so far is ashamed of these people, right?
Yes.
Everybody here is a little bit angry at them, and this guy's embarrassed about these guys. So there's one more.
It's the guy on the nickel.
This
No,
is
I'm
what?
just kidding. He's a guy on the nickel.
He's got something with a nickel.
No, you know the face on the nickel? That's what it looks like.
this
But
one?
he's the lost
The
child.
guy on the nickel. Okay.
Guy on the nickel.
Okay.
He's a lost child.
Which one is
Yeah,
the guy on the nickel?
I am so good. This is
Andrew?
the guy on the nickel.
Jackson?
I think so.
Is it Andrew Jackson on the nickel?
I don't know.
I don't have a nickel actually.
Yeah,
I think it's Andrew Jackson.
I quite often don't have a nickel.
Oh my
So
God.
this is the lost child. So what's with the lost child?
Drug addict, maybe?
What's the matter?
Drug addict, maybe?
No, he's the forgotten one. The one that doesn't cause a lot of problems, stays out
Yeah.
the way, isn't the center of attention. It's kind of just pushed to the
Tries to
side.
fade into
just
the background.
yeah,
Kind of stays in the background.
Yeah.
That's why we call them the invisible child.
yeah.
They kind of, they just don't.
They're just there.
Yeah. They're just kind of staying out of the way.
Yeah.
They usually, they get attracted to and attached to inanimate objects. This is why Barbie dolls are so popular, because these young people will get attracted to a Barbie doll, and it'd be like they're really having a relationship with a Barbie doll. They don't have, yes, they're best friends. They don't have a relationship with any flesh and blood real people, but they have a relationship with that doll.
I was just thinking that sounds
Yeah,
like my
it's
daughter
social.
with her electronic.
Mhm.
Sorry.
And so we do all of that kind of stuff. So let's look at the lost child. She's like you said, she's a silent one. She's an out of the way family member. Will never mention alcohol or recovery. She's not into that. She's just hiding, trying to stay away from it. They're quiet, reserved, careful not to make any problems. They give up self-needs, take efforts to avoid any conversation regarding any kind of underlying roles or anything. Their underlying feelings of guilt, loneliness, neglect, and anger.
Antisocial.
What else is tragic about the lost child?
That a lot of times, I don't want to say it.
They
I
get
might be
taken
wrong.
advantage
Well, a lot of
of,
times
but-
they either don't make it, you know what I'm saying, or they.
I do know what you're saying, and here's the deal: the lost child. What's tragic about them is a lot of times that they don't make it. A lot of times they will kill themselves.
Yeah.
A lot of people who fulfill that role wind up in suicide
Yeah.
or something like that, which is tragic. You
The
know,
ones to be molested.
yeah, those are the ones. Yeah, they're easily molested. Why is that?
Because they don't
Because
speak
they
up.
don't speak up.
They don't speak up, and they will.
Taking advantage of.
It's easy to take advantage of them because they are
Antisocial.
just real pliant.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do,
Yeah.
whatever's
They don't
okay.
want to cause problems. They
Don't want to cause any problems. Don't want to cause any mess. Don't want to do anything like that. So they can easily be taken advantage of, and all of that stuff. They feel neglected. So if nobody loves me, everybody hates me, I might as well go eat worms or shoot myself.
Yeah.
And so they do. They don't usually shoot themselves. A lot of time they wind up taking drugs.
Yeah.
They wind up overdosing, taking a lot of pills and poisoning themselves and all of that stuff. So, anybody in here feel like they identify with any one of those people there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Okay, so which one are you?
I'm the victim.
You're the victim. I think we're all can be the victim.
As a child, I was the lost child, and then when I got into my teenage years, I went into the hero because I felt like the only time that I was worth anything was what I could do for other people around me.
Yeah.
I felt the same way.
So which one were you?
When I was a child, I would have been the lost child.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to fade into the background and stay out of the way. When I hit my teenage years, I went into the hero.
Yeah. Yeah. You see how easily I ignored you when you first said that? Yes, ma'am.
I'm the victim as a child, and then as I grew up, I became the lost child because I wanted to stay out the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a victim. Everybody's life was revolved around just keeping me alive.
Well, and I do think that all of us in here are we have that. All of us are the victim, but or any of us in here other than myself, the children of alcoholics
Yeah.
or addicts.
Yeah.
So then you would have another role in that. So here's the deal: most of us have a role here, and we all probably have this role now. Because now we have children, right? Most of us have children or grandchildren or some kids hang around us. So they are beginning to show some of these tendencies, right?
Yeah, I've started.
So
Go on, I'm sorry.
what do we do?
Now,
What were you telling me?
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to cut you off.
Oh, you're fine.
It was, I've been screwed up this whole lesson because, like, I can start noticing these in my children, and like, I don't know how to fix those things now.
Well, who's my favorite comedian?
You?
Oh, well, no, he need to lose weight. But
Robin Williams.
no, it's a black gentleman who
Cat Williams.
Chris Tucker.
no,
Hold on.
who
Kevin Hart. Yeah.
no, good God, I like him.
How does he
Tyler
look?
Perry.
I love him. Who used to play Doctor So and So?
Eddie Murphy.
Dr. Doolittle?
Eddie Murphy.
Anyway, he said he's
Dave
the
Chappelle?
funniest man alive. But a long time ago, they accused him of raping a whole bunch of women, all of that kind of stuff. But He said, "Look,
Bill
how many?"
Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby. How many children do you have?
I have three.
Oh, Bill
3.
Cosby. He's from Pennsylvania.
Okay, well that explains a lot. Bill Cosby said, if you have 5 children and one of them is really, really, really nasty, really bad, and he said, no, that's not right. They're all really bad children. So you get the littlest one, you kill him, skin him, and eat him, and then the rest of them will line out. Now I'm not suggesting that. Cosby said.
Oh my.
What do you do to break this cycle? What do you do to break the family?
Become a better role model.
Become
You
a
have to
better
fix
role
the
model.
victim.
You have to
Fix
Fix
the
yourself.
victim. All of that is true, but the very first thing we need to do is tell the truth.
yeah.
We need to get honest about the Bible. The Bible tells us to be honest, but also the Big Book says we need to be honest.
Yes.
We're just as sick as our secrets. That's it. And we need to be honest. We need to start to break this thing up by being truthful ourselves. I was all of that stuff until I got to the place where I could say my dad's an alcoholic. Totally abusive, piece of low down, no count, no good for nothing, lower than a snake's belly in a wagon rut. And yes, I'm not proud of that, but that's the way that is.
Yeah.
Right. I myself am a victim. I'm a victim of that disease, okay? But I know that I'm a victim of that disease, and I'm working to get healed, working to get well, working to get in recovery, right? I need to let people know. There's 2 or 3 things about me that I let people know immediately if they meet me. You're not going to be around me more than a few minutes till you know I'm a Christian. I love the Lord Jesus Christ. That's the way that is. Second thing is you're going to know I'm an alcoholic. All right? I'm an alcoholic. You need to deport yourself accordingly around me. You need to know that that's who I am. Some things that you can do would out in the world would offend me. If you know right off that I am an alcoholic, you think it would be appropriate for you to offer me something to drink other than water, tea, or coffee?
No.
No, it's not appropriate. You'll be coming up here. Look, I'm not a violent person, but don't come up offering me to drink something. Do people do that?
Probably.
Yes, they do. My daughter and son-in-law have a great big spread down there, and they have a real nice barn where every day, if we have something, we have a party or something, I married both of my grandsons in their barn. Really fun.
Cute.
Really great. And so, if we go down there, my son-in-law doesn't drink. None of my grandsons drink. None of my children drink. But he has brothers and sisters who do. And so they'll come over there and they'll be drinking and all of this stuff. And there's one guy, I tell you, I don't know him real well, but every time he'll come over and say, I know you're a preacher and I know you're in recovery and I know you don't drink, but I just feel like I wouldn't be a nice guy if I didn't offer you a beer anyway, would you?
He's trying to be funny.
There are people like that though.
They are, and just about every time. Look, don't do that. That's just crazy. But when you're honest, people know your stance. They know who you are. That's going to help you stay in your recovery, and it also heals you from this stuff. Right? These people all have shame, remorse, grief, all that about who their family is. And when I can stand up and say, this is who my family is, then that deals with the shame, the grief, and the remorse. Look, my dad was an alcoholic. My dad was in prison. He's dead now, but he was in prison more often than he was at home. He'd be at home for about 3 months, and then he's back to prison. Because you're going to rob somebody somewhere. That's what he did. He was a businessman, but he wasn't a really good businessman. His business was being a criminal. And he was not really good at it because he'd do something, he'd go to prison. My mother was a practicing witch. She did, little things. She had they would eat special dirt. Y'all didn't know witches ate dirt, huh? But they go out to the creek and they get this special dirt off the creek and they eat that stuff. They would do all kinds of crazy. My mom was a witch.
This at the side of the bank in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And baking powder, the kind that you put them off and it foam up.
Yeah.
Every time I come home from school, she had wiped her all around her mouth. I mean, she was addicted to that stuff. Bad.
See, when we can get that stuff out, here's the deal.
Clayburger.
The witch lady, that was my mama. That wasn't me, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not me. That guy that criminal who went in and out of prison and did all of that kind of stuff, robbed people, tried to kill people,
So
did
do
all
you think
kinds.
you're the generational
That's not
curse breaker?
me. That was him,
He is.
right, ma'am?
So do you think you're the generational curse breaker?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there are. I do believe in generational curses, and I think it's been broken in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So let me share this with you. I do appreciate everybody here. We're going to have to shut down just a little early, so we're going to take another 10-minute break this afternoon. And I will be back over here tomorrow, and we're going to continue with some stuff. We've done the family roles. We know what they are now.
Yeah.
So we're going to do some other things about the family beginning tomorrow, and we'll get all of that done, right?
Okay.
All right. So, all right. Thank you,
We'll
guys.
bring our
I
books,
appreciate
guys.
y'all. Bring your books tomorrow, and